time I close my eyes, every time I close my time I close my eyes.
Yes, guys, welcome back. I hope everyone's doing well. This is your 6 p.m. show, guys. We're going to be looking at the transfer rumours happening at Liverpool Football Club right now. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're all doing good. I hope everyone's doing well in the chat. Big up to everybody. Thank you very much for joining me yet again. I hope you're all doing good and enjoying your day. Big up Gun Ben. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Gary in the house. Jice. Rob, every time I hear your intro, Rob, my man, Scraps, Rabbi, Stephen in the house, Danny, how you doing? Jice, talk about our bad Pierce, talk about bad news, Pierce. Yeah, I don't think he's right. Big up Chris, how you doing? Big up Vincent as well in the house. How is everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, I know a lot of people are a bit down in the dumps about the James Pierce stuff, but listen, he said we was going to have a quiet January and not buy anyone. Then we got Gakpo. Yeah, I mean, he said there was no truth in the rumours that Liverpool were buying Thiago. Then we bought Thiago. Look, what he is, he's a reporter for the club, and the club let him know information, and then the club tell him information, and he writes so information. So right now the club hasn't been sold. So Liverpool haven't been sold. So they've told James Pierce that there's no truth. Liverpool have not been sold. So he writes Liverpool not been sold. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Really wouldn't. Wolves FI in the house. How you doing, my friend? Poor Liverpool winning rubbish Wolves. Without say, FA Cup this season. Big up Jamie in the chat. Nunes to Liverpool. Yeah, Ruben Mill droning that hard. Big up Wolves FI. Carmino in the house. How you doing, Aaron? Book stand has moved. Yeah, I've moved my computer monitor about. I've moved my computer monitor about because where it was, I was too close to it. I've got a wall right there, and I was too close to it. And I felt uncomfortable. I didn't have the freedom. Got these big shoulders, you see. I need to have the freedom, you know. So I've got a bit more freedom where it is now. So shoved everything over. But very observant, Patrick. Very observant. Big up to you, my friend, and big up to everyone in the house. Hopefully, we'll be joined by some guests shortly. Hopefully, they've all got the links, unless they're all ignoring me. I don't know. Bruno says, "Big up to you, Bruno. You're doing well, mate." James Pierce is talking at his half. There's a record when it comes to report for Liverpool News. Leonard Pierce, the actor that played Granddaddy. What? I am so remote control account. I'm very confused. I know Leonard Pierce is. The actor that played Grant. I'm so confused. Did I miss something? Yeah, but Pierce will have egg on his face again if we get taken over. He will. Yeah, smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button. Jane, could you do a poll as whether we want Firmino to get a new deal? I can do. Of course I can. Of course I can. Let me just put it in the chat right now. Let me start a poll up. Here we go. Bobby to get a new deal, yes or no? Go for it, guys. Poll is up now. Bobby to get a new deal, yes or no? How do we feel? How do we feel? Oh, got ya. I'm with you. I'm with you. Leonard Pierce, Pierce. Yeah, I'm with you now. I'm with you. You threw me off a little bit. The only one right answer is yes. No worries. Bobby, I think it's 30-31. Personally, I'd keep Bobby Firmino. He's one of the players I would probably keep out of everyone. I'd probably keep Bobby. Pierce getting his info wrong. Sometimes Paul Joyce is more credible. Sometimes, I mean, Paul Joyce is probably more credible, full stop. David Ornstein, Paul Joyce, Sam Wallace is quite reliable. Yeah, they're the ones I go with. 31, I think, Joyce. We want a new deal, Bob Stutt. The whole takeover news reminds me of Rihanna's Take a Bow. Bruno, my man. No, it's 32. There you go. 1 year extension. 31, 32. Yeah, 1 year extension. We're going to talk about other things as well today. So the Matheus Nunes stuff is not going away. That rumor's on fire as well, guys. That rumor is on fire as well. Also, other things on like Jude Bellingham deal still there. The Ruben Neves deal. There's talk about Ruben Neves coming in this January transfer window. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and there's strong rumours right now that James Milner will be given another 1 year deal. So let me know what you think about that in the chat, guys. Yeah, there's very, very strong rumours right now that James Milner will be given a 1 year deal after his deal runs out. Let me know what you guys think about that in the chat. I'm all ears. I'm all ears for that, guys. Let me know what you think about James Milner getting another year. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, no, not another. Not another James. No, I can't be doing it. I can't be doing it. Well, it's there. The rumours are around. We'll find out soon. Big up, Jen. How you doing, man? Miller will be when he's 50. Keep him. What about no way? Yeah, unsure. It's a no for me. Need to make space in the squad. Millie also is a no. Not the mill. Wolves fan told me Matheus Nunes could cost Liverpool 75 million. No, ain't gonna cost that. It's gonna cost 46 million pound. Yes, love Millie, get a new deal. Good guy to have around. I'm okay with Milner, just not Naby or Ox. So who's leaving? We're gonna tell you. Keep Millie for a year as backup, not a regular starter yet. I mean, Klopp's in charge. Of course, Millie's getting a new deal. So look, Milner's probably a backup right back. Would you say that at the moment? Backup right back for Milner. Yeah, I mean, Milner is properly backup right back. You know, Trent's first choice. You'd arguably say Milner's second choice. Look, the Milner stuff, because I've been thinking like the Milner situation has been very quiet, considering he only signed a 1 year deal. He only signed a 1 year deal, which runs out at the end of this season. Yeah, it's been very quiet on the Milner front. Like no one's really spoke about it. I've not heard any news coming out of the club about James Milner and if Milner will sign a new deal at all. So maybe something is happening underground, you know? Maybe something is happening with Milner there. And yeah, maybe he just feels like Milner wants to stay. He wants to keep Milner. Look, I can understand why he rates James Milner so highly. I can understand he's why the love is for James Milner is there. I really can. You look at what Milner gives Liverpool. He's a proper professional. He gives his absolute best. He's fit as a fiddle. I mean, he just came back from hamstring injury, and I see him putting the burners on, slowing men down, and then putting the burners on at 37 after coming back from hamstring injury. Do you know what I mean? That's a madness. That's an absolute madness. Um, and he's versatile, ain't he? He can play left back, right back. He can play the central midfield area. He's very versatile. Uh, I think that having a versatile player in your squad is quite important. I think you need that in your squad, versatile footballers. So why not? Why not? Another year, maybe. Indian Scouts are big up to you, mate. If it's not too late and you want to, the link is in the WhatsApp chat. If you want to come on, man, you're more than welcome. Millie is a leader. You can't just go out and buy players like him. That is very true. Ramsey has had injuries. Yeah, plus we don't, Ramsey's only a baby, ain't he? He's only a kid. You keep Milner around for another year. It lets Ramsey grow into the team. Do you know what I mean? He deserves the contracts for that moment. Yeah. We have 4 players that can play right back at the Mo. Millie being one of them. He was superb yesterday. Don't care how old he is exactly. Yeah, he was great yesterday. That's just, let's give Milner his due, man. Milner was fantastic yesterday. We need new players. Oxlade, James Milner need to leave, in my opinion. Big up Bruno. Milner must tell great jokes. Big up Mark. Millie is a goat. Just gets a gig at coaching the youth squad. It's time to get rid of the old guy and bring in fresh blood, or we'll. Yeah, look, there's a lot I agree with. I'm really torn through. I'll let you know right now. I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of it. I'm quite split. See, if you give Milner a 1-year deal, but you're letting go of Keita and Ox, you're getting rid of that. That's 2 places in midfield already automatically opened up. You've opened up 2 spaces in midfield anyway. So there might be room to keep Milner for another year. I mean, his professionalism goes without a doubt. He's actually a decent footballer. He doesn't play like he's 37. I'm going to give him his credit. I'm going to give Milner his credit right now. Milner don't actually play like he's a 37-year-old man, Man came back from hamstring injury, plays right back, and plays really well. I see a lot of players, a lot younger, Fabinho, who's 29 and can't move. So, who'd you rather keep right now, Milner or Fabinho? Literally. Who would you rather keep right now if you only had a choice? If you only had a choice and you had to keep Fabinho or Milner, who are you keeping? Because Milner moves far better than Fabinho. He's more agile than Fabinho. He's probably quicker than Fabinho. I mean, it's a madness. Who would you keep? Oh, it's my Wi-Fi glitching. Let me have a look. Oh, it's probably my mic. Give me 1 minute, guys. It's probably my mic. No, give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second because it's not the Wi-Fi. Yeah, it sounds like the mic might be a bit shitty. Hang on. There you go. It's all right now. Yeah, fuck knows what happened there. Fuck knows what happened there. Is it all good now? Yeah, back. It's YouTube. There's something up with YouTube today. I think someone was saying earlier that YouTube was down for them as well. So fuck knows what's happening. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just hearing myself back because I can see myself in my YouTube channel right now. So yeah, fuck knows. But yeah, Liverpool got a lot of clearing out to do, guys. Liverpool got a lot of clearing out to do. Let's go through. Liverpool got to clear out. We need the clear out job. Fabinho for me is done, so he needs to go. Henderson probably done, needs to go. Nat Phillips needs to go. Oxlade Chamberlain needs to go. James Milner probably needs to go. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he got a year deal, and it wouldn't kill me if he did. Bobby Firmino, if you think about the age, he probably needs to go. But I wouldn't mind him getting a new deal. So that's 6 players. Curtis Jones probably needs to leave the football club. That's 7. Who else, guys? Let me know who else. If we're having a clear out, who else goes? Scraps has got it. So Phillips, Hendo, Fabinho, Naby, Ox, Jones, and Fabio. Carvalho on loan. 2 youngsters on loan. Yeah, I think so. Carvalho, yeah, I think Carvalho will go on loan. So that's 8 for me because I'd get rid of Fabinho. Yeah, 7 or 8 players, man. 7 or 8 players probably need to leave this club, which is mad. 7 to 8 players probably need to leave this club right now. If you're doing that, you're going to have a massive transition. But that don't mean you have to get 8 players in. Because what we've seen with Liverpool recently is that we've got a lot of quantity, but not a lot of quality at the same time. And what Liverpool need now is more quality over quantity. So we're getting rid of 8 spaces in our team, having a bit of a clear out, getting rid of them. Then you've got room in your team, mate. You've got room in your team then to get some quality players in. You get some players off the wage bills, you free up money that way. Because don't forget, I know everyone goes on, we're a buy to sell club, and we have to sell players to, make money to buy new players in. But you can also, by freeing up wages as well, do the same sort of thing, do the same sort of thing by freeing up wages. Just free up some wages, you can do exactly the same thing. So maybe we go that route, guys. Maybe we go that route. Maybe we look at it and go, you know what? Let's just let these players go and bring in 3 or 4 quality footballers, to fill the gaps that are reliable, not injury prone, and quality footballers. And that actually makes our squad better. Maybe not bigger, but it makes it better without a doubt for me. Much better. We need a left centre back too, by the way. I think Dicky 3 against season is perfect. Yeah, we do need a left-sided centre back. There is no doubt about it. This summer, see a real exodus. I think it will. I think it will. You just named a few English players that will need replacing with English players. Yeah, you do. But that's my thing. So I'm looking at it thinking like, so I'd get if it was me, I'd be after more English talent. So I'd be after like a Declan Rice, maybe. Obviously Jude Bellingham's one. You do need that British quota. There's no doubt about it. So, but the problem is Liverpool are going to let go of some of these players, so they must be thinking the same thing. Because Oxlade Chamberlain's not getting a new contract, yeah. So if Ox goes and Milner goes, say Ox and Milner leave, that's 2 of the British quota gone out of your team straight away, right? Curtis Jones is an age now where he can be registered. Harvey Elliott still can't be registered right now because he's 19. Stefan Bajetic can't be registered at the moment. I think in a 2 years' time he can be because he's been training with a youth team long enough to be cranked as a homegrown. Yeah, it's a mad one. It's a mad one. But yeah, Curtis Jones. Do you know what? We might have to keep Curtis Jones because of the homegrown quota. Because of the homegrown quota, we might have to keep Curtis Jones because I think he'll be of an age this season. Next season coming. Let me just Google it right now, guys. I want to get it right. Let me get it now. Liverpool's homegrown quota. Let me let me see. So homegrown is a registered to FA affiliated club for 3+ years before their 21st birthday. So that means a lot of our youth players coming through will eventually be homegrown when they're 21. So Doak won't be registered because he's Scottish. So Stefan Bajetic, when he gets 21, if he's still a Liverpool player, will be homegrown. Curtis Jones will be homegrown. Harvey Elliott will be homegrown. So there's 3 there. Non-homegrown does not fit the criteria. Maximum of 17 to be registered. So we need 17 non-homegrown players and under 21s born on after the January 1st, 2001 does not take a spot in the 25-man squad. So we need 17 non-homegrown players, and to be a homegrown player, you have got to be affiliated with a club for 3+ years before your 21st birthday. So Harvey Elliott will be homegrown. Carvalho will be homegrown. Who else will be homegrown? Who else did I say? Stephen Bajetic will be homegrown. Yeah. So, yeah, Jacob Ramsey's Scottish, so he can't be homegrown. It's like Robbo's not homegrown because he's Scottish. It's mad. You can have Spanish and Portuguese players in your team because they've been in your academy or part of your team for longer than 3 years before they're 21 and they're classed as homegrown. But someone who just lives in the UK their whole life isn't homegrown because they're Scottish. Makes no sense, does it? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Big up to Cop End in the house as well. Big up to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Declan Rice, man. Declan Rice is a good player. He's one I'll be looking at definitely. Big up, Arthur. How you doing? We should let Bobby. We are being too sentimental fans. Let him go. Sorry, my man. We should let Bobby go. We're being too sentimental as fans. He's given us the best years. We don't want his to get his worst years. That's a good point. It's a really good point. We are a bit sentimental. I think as fans, we can be sentimental at times. I agree. I am very sentimental. Like Bobby is one I would keep. But you are right. We have to be. We're asking the manager to be ruthless. So as fans, we should probably ask the same for ourselves as well. Maybe we should look at ourselves and go, we should be ruthless as well. You've got a great point there. Great point. Millie is a youth coach. Hendo's. God, poor Hendo coming in for such abuse right now. I love Hendo. Look, I got his book, man. I got the man's book. I love Hendo. Hendo is arguably. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. God, I never lie to you guys. Hendo's my favourite player. I'm just that sort of man, Hendo is my favourite player, man. Love Hendo. But yeah, his time's probably come, and you're correct. I'm probably sentimental as well. We'll sell Ox. We will sell Ox, Naby, Jones, Milner, and get 1 year. Milner will get a 1-year deal. Klopp will not sell Hendo. Fabinho may go. Will not sell Hendo, Fabinho may go. Yeah, I mean Fabinho. Yeah, Fabinho's one Klopp might be looking at. Klopp might be looking at Fabinho and thinking, you know what, your days here might be numbered. If I was Fabinho, I'd actually be worried about my future. Jamie Fox and Tyler Morton coming back. We always thought it'd be the way because Tyler Morton went on loan to Blackburn for a reason. We did the same with Harvey Elliott. I think Klopp sees a lot in Tyler Morton. Again, I think Tyler Morton, I'm not sure of Tyler Morton's age, but he might be able to take, how old is he? I'm not sure of Tyler Morton's age, but he could be one that takes up a spot as well. Hang on. Let me have a look at Tyler Morton's age. Right, here we go. God, Jesus Christ. That's not the Tyler Morton I want. Jesus Christ. Don't put whatever you do, guys, don't Google Tyler Morton. You do not get the footballer. I just literally Googled Tyler Morton and you do not get the footballer. You don't get. Oh my God, who is that? Who the fuck is this? What the hell is that when it's at home? Oh my God, let me show you guys. This is what you get when you Google Tyler Morton. Hang on. Oh, dearie me. Look what I just look. This is what you get when you get Tyler Morton. Hang on. I've just Googled Tyler Morton, yeah? All right, just Googled Tyler Morton, right? And this is the first thing that came up when I Googled Tyler Morton. Apparently that's Tyler Morton. So I don't even know who that is. I just Googled Tyler Morton and this woman convict just came up. Jesus Christ. I probably didn't spell it right. You're right. I probably didn't spell it right. Living the dream. Big up. Looks like simmer gas. Oh dear. You're probably right. I probably didn't spell his name right. You're probably right. Oh my God. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh yeah, I spelt it. Yeah, that's what I did. I spelt it the wrong way. Oh my God. No, I spelt it the right way. I spelt it the right way. I was just looking at him now. He's played 26 games for Tyler Morton this year has played 26 games for Blackburn, so he's having a good season. He's played 26 games for Blackburn. Yeah, Jamrock, he will be because he had all that time in Birmingham. Yeah, that's just oh man, Google's dangerous, man. Google's a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous thing. Oh Jesus. Firmino come to Venabachi. We've got a Venabachi fan in the chat. Love it. Big up you, my man. Yeah, the woolly hat. There's two reasons for the woolly hat, as everyone knows. My hair is out of control. I'm too lazy to get my hair cut. I will this weekend and the hat will be gone. Yeah. And this on my chin needs to go as well. I am such a lazy fucker. I've not had a shave. I've not had a haircut. My hair is terrible under here. Like, really bad. It's out of control. And plus, it's freezing. It's freezing. But big up to you, Copend. Big up to you. Ivan Toney, his English is on fire. Take him and sell Ox 100%. Big Dirtman in DMV playlist. Big up to you. You can't write this up. Mugshot, you know. It was a mugshot, wasn't it? Look at it. Hang on. This is Tyler Morton, by the way, guys. Don't Google Tyler Morton. And what I did, I put in Tyler Morton without putting Liverpool next to it. And that's what came up. Google's dangerous, man. Google's dangerous. Google's dangerous, man. It's a dangerous thing. You want to see my hair? Oh, man, it's out of control. Look. It's all like out of control, man. Look at it. That is messed up. Messed up hairdo, man. Messed up hairdo. No, I've got people up here just take the piss out of my hair, man. This is why the hat's on. I'm lazy.
You took the hat off, finally.
Oh, hang on then. I can't hear you. Got my earphones. Hang on.
No, everyone in the chat, man.
Oh, man. Everyone getting my hair out. It's not fair, man. The hat stays onto its cut. The hat stays onto its cut. Yeah, we're just talking about Tyler Morton. I Googled Tyler Morton in Google, right? And this is the picture I got.
Can't be Tyler.
Don't Google. Don't use Google. It's a dangerous tool, man.
That's crazy, man.
It's a dangerous tool. I've just been reading about her, actually. She's not a nice lady. She's not a nice lady. It's not exactly like, I mean, it's not like it's not a stunner, is it? Jamie, what's the shampoo sponsorship? You imagine with these locks, man. Yeah, Enz is back. Big up to Enz in the house.
Yeah,
how you doing, my friend? You doing all right?
Yeah, man, just been a busy day, bro. I was in and out. I was meant to jump in earlier, then I had to go back, shoot out again. So just finally got a chance to sit down, man.
Yeah,
Ate
that's
some
it,
food,
man. That's it.
sat down. Yeah, it's all good, man.
I'd love to eat some food. I'd
How
love
are
to
you,
eat
bro?
some food. I'm all right. I'm hungry.
So you got to eat,
hungry.
man.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Dreams,
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Fucking January's been going on for 9 weeks now, ain't it? And it's just the payday between Christmas and when you next get paid is ridiculous.
Yeah, so it always is.
It's too long, and I'm running out of shit. You know, and you got to make sure the kids are fed, ain't you?
Yeah.
Turkey dinosaurs ain't cutting it when you're 41. Let me tell you.
You got to be doing proper stuff.
So yeah, shopping on the weekend. Don't you worry about that.
Now, big up to everyone in the chat, man. I see loads of people hailing, man. So big up to all of you, man.
Yeah, they love you. They love you. And rightly so, your quality.
Cheers.
So yeah, Tyler Morton, we're just talking about like players that we might have a clear out in the summer. We're talking about some of the players we might have a clear out of, and you know, and who we can bring in and stuff like that. So I was just looking at the players that Liverpool might be looking to clear out. We're talking about Jimmy Milner just now. I don't know if you saw it. There's very strong rumours that Jimmy Milner will get another year.
Probably a coaching role.
No, a proper playing role. He doesn't want to coach yet, apparently.
No, that's a joke. Probably someone's trying to troll Liverpool, man.
I mean,
he can't be getting a new deal.
I can see why. Don't get me wrong. I can see why. Man was burning up people last night, man.
Yeah, I hear that. But it's about moving forward, though, right, Jamie?
Yeah, I agree. Look, I agree. I totally agree. Big up, John. John, links in the WhatsApp group if you want to come on, my friend. You're more welcome. Let's get people on there. Let's have a proper Liverpool chat. That's if you're awake, John.
John Biden's at it again, bro.
He'd be terrible as Prime Minister, John, wouldn't he? He'd like,
I was listening to it was Cat Williams. Was it Cat Williams who was saying can't expect Joe Biden to be doing like 15 interviews in a day, man. He's like 97, bro. You can't expect the man to be just 15 interviews. And I hear why John falls asleep sometimes. Can't be doing that many streams in a day, right?
John's doing a 24-hour streams, man. He's non-stop. Jamie, I agree, mate. January is huge. It's mad. It's horrible, man. The struggle in January. I've got my wife's birthday next Thursday, you know, and you know, got that. I just had my boy's birthday. My boy's birthday was the 10th, you know, just after Christmas. It's just non-stop, man. Non-stop. Can't wait to get some money and just, you know, have some food. It'd just be nice. It'd just be nice. Just be nice. I'm wearing away, man. I'm wearing away. This Japanese top was a bit tight on Christmas Day. It's now a bit baggy, you know.
Putting in, bro. That's all it is, man. Work hard.
That's it.
It could be stress. I don't know, man. It could be any of those things.
It's everything. It's everything. Don't worry about that. Yeah. So Millie, the rumor is a year. There's strong rumors coming out at the moment for another 12 months. Because I was saying to the guys in chat just a minute ago that considering Millie's only signed a 1-year deal, there's not a lot of news coming out and things that like oh, he's not going to sign a new deal. I would have thought I'd have heard stuff by now saying, yeah, Milner, it's definitely the end for Milner this season. You know, he's finishing up. This will be his last season ever at Liverpool Football Club as a player. I'm not hearing any of that. All I'm hearing is that Naby and Ox are off. I'm not hearing nothing about Milner. And then I heard some rumours going around today in some of the papers and that, saying there's another 1-year deal on the table if he wants to sign it.
It's not something I would do. I'm trying to just think. I'm trying to take my hat off.
It might be for the homegrown quota.
But we can buy the players to fit that. Because that to me is just a waste of a spot and a waste of an excuse. We can go out and get top quality players and that can fit that quota and let James Milner go and do, if he wants to do coaching, if not, he wants to retire or move on, down to him. I get it. We want a player like him in the changing room and stuff like that. But we need to, if we want to go back and challenge next season, we have to go out there and get top quality players. We can't just be doing this. Oh yeah, Milner will fill gaps during the season. No more. Can't do that. Got to go and get proper players because everyone else around us will. Newcastle will, Man City will, Arsenal will. So we can't just be doing this. Oh, let's just re-sign James Milner thing. Nah, man.
No, I agree. I mean, as much as I love James, he's a great professional, and he's been a great servant to this football club. There is no doubt about it. He's a great professional, but you are right. Sometimes we might have to look on. I remember the other day, and you were talking about it as well about sentimentality, and you're saying we're
Yeah,
talking about Klopp being sentimental. For us fans, exactly the same. Are we ruthless enough as a fan base at times?
we're not. We're not. I can answer that easy because we have our favorite players that we love.
Yeah,
I have favorites. Everyone has their favorites, but
of
if
course.
for the betterment of the club, and we have to let these players move on so we can push forward.
Yeah,
When we lost Steven Gerrard, we lost Mascherano, we lost Xabi. Everyone was moaning when we lost those players. Torres, Suarez, we were moaning. Well, how do we go on from this point? But we did. So it's about to let these players go. The players that are no longer here mentally or physically, we're like, there's no point of playing them. We need to bolster the squad with top players so we can then push on to the next level and compete. Because it won't be just us next season. Do you know what I mean? It won't be just us. It won't be us and Man City. We're going to have to compete against Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea. So if we really want to compete against these teams, we can't afford to be sitting here telling me that we should give other guys contracts that has not turned up, and we already know that they're not going to play. Naby's playing well now, great, that's fine, but I don't want to hear about giving him a new contract. Milner's playing well, fine, don't want to hear about giving him a new contract. Bobby's the only one I'm thinking, but that could be a sentimental thing. But at the same time, can we go out there and replace him and get a quality attacking player to fill that gap? We can. There's players out there, but it's whether or not we want to, or do we want to keep Bobby in the team because of his, because of the person he is. We have to move forward. We have to get proper players now. Can't just be
yeah.
sitting there waiting and next season. Nah, man, we can't do that.
No, you're bang on, man. You're bang on. If Chelsea by say that the FFP doesn't exist, yeah, I don't know how they're doing it. Big up, Rods, all the way
What
live.
are you saying, families? Everybody good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we're doing good, Rods. We're doing good. How you doing,
Good,
Rods?
good. I'm not too bad, none too shabby, as I say, none too shabby. You know what I mean?
Good, man. It's good to hear, mate.
Yeah,
Good to hear.
just enjoying the victory yesterday. Certain mans at the day started playing like they should do. You know what I mean? So I
Let
don't
me,
know.
because I haven't spoke to you guys about the win. So let's talk about that a little bit quickly before we move on to more transfer news and stuff.
Okay.
So, Ent, your opinions on the performance last night. What did you like? What you didn't like? Who stood out for you?
I didn't even. There was nothing I didn't even like about the game. Actually, to be fair,
That's
when
good
we
to
did the player, when we did the preview show on your channel,
Yeah.
we were talking about, and I said, as long as we go and play the younger players, we'll see a better performance because they think a lot quicker than they say the senior, quote unquote, senior players do. So you can see Harvey, Carvalho, you can see Bizetic. They all knew and they linked up really sharply and they played some good football, man, in spells. When Thiago got on the ball, you can see when he passed it to Bizetic or Naby, it didn't feel like hot potato. They actually controlled the ball, laid it off. They started playing some good football, man. Our transitional play was excellent yesterday. Bizetic. Very, very impressed with him. I think for us, we need to go into the next game with that same midfield, just in my opinion. Gakpo yesterday, in terms of overall, I would say he probably maybe an average rating yesterday, but he did play well. His hold-up play was good. His movement on and off the ball was okay. But as I said, striker isn't in his natural position. And especially coming into our team playing in a different system, you're going to get those things. People are going to say, he needs to be here. He's not a striker, he's a winger. But he can fill a gap if we're needed. So obviously, hopefully Nunes is fit for the next game.
And I think he is. I think Darwin was quite close to playing yesterday, so
yeah,
he should be all right.
Carvalho did well. Obviously, he hadn't played in 4 games, so we couldn't have expected a lot from him, to be fair.
He ain't going to play again for a while either.
Yeah. That's the tough part of it. But in terms of very impressed with Joey yesterday. Konate as well was very good. Tsimikas played really well. Millie played well at right back as well. But overall, man, it was just the energy in the team. You could see the vast difference between the first game we played them and this game. They looked like they could control the game and they were attacking all the time. In this game, they were so worried about what we were doing. Last game, their manager and the assistant manager and the other their coaches weren't standing at the sideline thinking, "What can we do?" They were sitting there with arms folded, happy as anything. So, Klopp got it right, man. Klopp got it right. But big up to Joey, man. Joey bossed it yesterday.
Your boy Joey did.
All the haters, bro. Joey was playing boss yesterday, yeah?
He did well. He did well. Rods, your thoughts on the game yesterday?
Literally, I second what the end said. You know what I mean? The whole team got it together. I was mostly impressed. I was really, really impressed with young Stefan. I was really, I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not even bothered. You know what I mean?
Iniesta.
Yeah. It was called Stefan Iniesta. Yeah, Xavi. No, but I was impressed with him yesterday. He was disciplined. He was disciplined in midfield, and he done a good job. I always said, I was saying last night on my watch along, this is what we need to do. You know what I mean? Keep hold of possession. Don't panic in possession. Make sure your passes are reaching the right person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't rush anything. Do you know what I mean? And most of all of that, right? When you get a chance, take it. Do you know what I mean? And now, when they took the chance and they got the goal, the ascendancy is on them now. They have to come and attack us. We don't have to rush anything. We just have to be chilled, hold on to possession, and make them come and fight for the ball. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think. That's what we did well yesterday. We did it very well. Joey at the day made up for Saturday. He did make up for Saturday because I thought he's damn good yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Kelleher was good. Cavalli, I thought he was all right. I thought Cavalli was all right. I mean, I gave him an average rating early on today, but I thought he was all right. He did what he could do, especially being played out of position. A young Elliot, that's the only position you play in. Do you know what I mean? If you cannot play him in that position, I think in the day, don't play him at all. You know what I mean? He's so effective on that the right wing. When he goes into midfield, I think he loses some of his game, and that's when everybody will get in his back, quite rightly so, because his performance are not great. Do you know what I mean? But stick him out on the wing. Do you know what I mean? That's when he was effective. Gakpo as well, obviously, playing in the wrong position. He did basically and they sort of what he could. Do you know what I mean? But I thought the whole team was blessed. I thought they really sort of knocked it down, went out and got that victory. I knew we was going to win. I said we was going to win. Do you know what I mean? I did say 2-0. I said 2-0, but it was 1-0. So I'm happy with the performance. Salah did not impress me. He did not impress me at all. Tashimaka's looked knackered. He looked knackered. But he did all right in the end. He did all right. Flacco, I don't think he's got the legs anymore, to be honest. Don't think he's got the legs anymore.
Flacco. I love Fabinho to bits. I really did. I mean, me and G went through the game earlier, done our player ratings. I loved Fabinho. Great player for us, man. But yeah, I think he might need to leave at the end of the season. I just don't know how much better he's going to get. I just don't know how much better he's going to get. But I agree with everything you guys are saying there. It's just nice to see us win a game of football at the end of the day, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, lovely.
It weren't the most exciting game of all time. If you weren't a Liverpool fan, you probably fell asleep. If you are a Liverpool fan, you probably fell asleep. It weren't the greatest game, but look, we picked up a win. We go through in the next round of the FA Cup against Brighton, where we'll get our revenge, go and beat them. We'll go win the FA Cup again. It's going to be great. Can't wait. But but look, I saw things in that game that was promising as well. Me and G were chopping this up earlier. The things in that game that were so promising, seeing young players getting the chance to play and actually playing their natural positions as well. After Steven Bajcetic playing where he should be playing, Elliot playing where he should be playing, and actually impressing and looking decent. There's room now. Apparently, the rumours are going around right now that Klopp was so impressed with that team that he might be thinking of putting it straight out against Chelsea. There's a lot of rumours going around this evening about that, which wouldn't bother me. Like me and G said, we did not want to see Fabinho and Henderson line up against Chelsea after we see mobility and youthfulness and movement. I mean, Naby ends. Before I get G's opinion on something, ends Naby Keita SD. How do you feel he played?
It's so crazy because obviously we're going to lose him now in the summer, but this is what we wanted from him in the first place, man. The calmness, even from the press, he was initiating all the presses in the team. So as soon as he started initiating it, everyone else did what they needed to do. He was just able. We were able to actually play football, little step overs in the midfield, little Cruyff turns. If he would have just gave Carvalho that ball a bit earlier, Carvalho, great finish by the way. We could have had 2 goals in it. But Naby, man, he played so well. I looked at his stats in the game in terms of tackles, recoveries, passing and stuff. Did well, man. Did really well.
Yeah, he had a good game. Gee, so I don't know if you heard it. After we finished our video earlier, I was just looking online and stuff, and looking at some of the newspapers and that. This evening's newspapers. A lot of rumours. Jimmy Milner's going to get another year deal. He's going to have a stroke.
Not feeling that.
I mean,
He's done.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I just look. James Milner puts in a shift, but there's no way I want some flipping 38-year-old in my team for next season. Like, he can be a coach. Like, he can be someone who stays as a coach, can still kind of have that effect. For me, what that then tells me is that you're not strengthening the team that much next season. That's what that tells me. Because if you wouldn't actually need a James Milner of 38 years of age. Like, this isn't the Liverpool when James Milner first came in. We needed a James Milner. We needed a winner. We needed someone who'd been experienced at doing the things that we just couldn't do. We've got enough experienced players in the squad now. I don't feel that it's going to be that beneficial to tie him up to a player's contract. Coach, 100%. That's someone, even I'd even have him as like someone who floats between academy and, you know what? He might not even need to even be a coach. I think he could play like a different role, someone who's almost like a liaison between players, manager. I don't know what that would be, but that's the kind of role I look at him at. But to sign him to a new deal, to me, it kind of speaks volumes for next season in the summer, like in terms of transfers and stuff like that, because I just don't see what you would need to sign him on for, Yeah, but we're not. This isn't 6 years ago. I don't need another. You trying to tell me that there's only one utility player and he's 37 years of age? That's embarrassing. If there is only one player in the world of football who can be deemed a utility player, I could probably name you about 5. So I can't see why you can't just go out and sign a utility player, someone who's, of age, someone who we can really use in the squad. Like I said, Milner, he's done his job this season, man. Like, he hasn't disappointed that much, but yeah, for me, I'd be getting rid of him as quickly as possible come that summer. I wouldn't want to see him here next season, but not because I'm trying to throw him out or anything. It's just we're supposed to be moving forward. Why are you trying to move forward and you've just got more 30-year-olds in your team than you do 20-something-year-olds? That doesn't show me a team with longevity. That shows me a team who are struggling to figure out what it is they're trying to do in their transfer market.
No, I agree. I think we all agree with this. I mean, I think all of us on the panel and everyone in the chat and all that will admit that Milner's a fantastic servant to the football club.
100%.
A great professional. If that professionality and what he does as a professional, I think, G, you said it earlier, like if you're a kid, you got to watch your Ronaldos and your Messis, but then listen to a Milner when he's talking, sort of thing, because 100%. He's that good as a professional. If you want someone like that around, I think it'd just be great for the coaching of the younger stars, don't you think?
Yeah. But at the moment, we still have senior players. So I know Milner's probably the most experienced one, but there's still going to be Henderson here. They're still going to.
That's what I'm saying.
Ali will be here. Virgil will be here. Robert will be here.
Exactly.
There's still senior experienced players in the team. So
yeah.
Do we really need him?
you could be experienced and be in your 20s as well, by the way. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You know,
100%.
so it's like you don't have to be of an age to be experienced. But I love Milner, and he did a great job again last night, and he will do to the end of the season. Till Milner's not needed, he will give you everything he can.
Mhm.
You know.
Mm.
But I was saying earlier, it's mad that I think we've got an issue with Fabinho. I really do, guys. And the more I look at it, everyone keeps telling me he's just tired and all that. And I was like, well,
He
had the
needs to
old
be coached by Milner, though, isn't it?
yeah.
Milner,
I mean,
Milner
the whole
used to coach him.
yeah. I mean, Fabinho had the whole summer off the rest. Yeah, he had the whole summer off the rest. You know, and he is still in his 20s. And
Yeah.
you know, and then he went to the World Cup. He never really played, so it's not like it was taxing on him. You know, he went there,
Yeah.
trained, got a bit of sun, had a baby. You know, if we keep Fabinho to next season because there's no summer football, yeah, and he comes back and he's still the same Fabinho, what we going to be saying?
It's
We're
true,
gonna be
though.
like,
It makes no sense. To me,
Yes.
so it's got me, and so it's got you.
That's
To me, at the end of the day, sort of like Fabinho and he's moving like he's the same age as me, 53. Do you know what I mean? He's moving like that. That's how I'm moving the team.
he looks
They've got-
older than you, Rods. To be fair, he looks older than you. So.
But like, to me, at the end of the day, right, there's got to be something that's gone wrong. You don't actually start moving like that. Do you know what I mean? Because Fabinho was one of the best midfielders in Europe at one time. And to drop from there to there, do you know what I mean? There's got to be something that's gone wrong. Do you know what I mean? And I think really and truly, he should be out of the team until it can be sorted out. Do you know what I mean? I want to go for as far as selling him because he can still come in useful. Do you know what I mean? Because we know we know FSG and Klopp and that when they sell players, they don't replace them. They do not replace them. Do you know what I mean? Not adequately anyway. Do you know what I mean? But it needs to be something done in respects to Firmino because that drop off can't just come just like that. Do you know what I mean? Because you put your house on Fabinho playing and having a good game in midfield as a deep lining midfielder. Now at the end of the day, you don't trust him. You don't. They brought him on yesterday and everything that, and I don't know what he was doing. Seriously, they brought him on yesterday. I'm like, rah. Do you know what I mean? What are you doing? You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. So something needs to be done.
Sorry, I was laughing because there's a comment from Wayne, and that's exactly what I think of Liverpool. Like, Klopp players age in dog years. Like, where you're supposed to be, 13, for example. 13 for a normal, like, human being is like, you're a teenager, you're still young. 13 for a dog. Whew, yeah, he's getting on, man. He might pass any second now. That's exactly like Liverpool. Like, they age in dog years because of his style of play is not sustainable for longevity. And I was saying that to someone today on Twitter because they were asking about Klopp and, would you want him out? And I said, yeah, because I need a manager who can come in and has sustainable football for a long period of time. Klopp has never done that ever. He's always had a period of time where when it's at its peak, it's amazing. And the players can reach that level and, it looks good, but it's not sustainable enough. And the problem is he's always at clubs, coincidentally, that don't refresh enough because of owners or money or whatever it is. There's always some caveat to it, but he can't refresh those players quickly enough. If he had, if he was at like a Manchester City, it probably would work potentially because he'd be able to constantly keep freshen it up, keep giving money, blah, 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 etc., etc. Where he's at clubs that don't really do that, he doesn't. For me, that's why it's weird. Him at small clubs, yes, it's good because he can build them, but his style of play is just not sustainable. That's it. Like, and it's not just Fabinho as well, though. It's Van Dijk slowed down a little bit. Trent's looking a bit slower now, bulked up a bit, and he's just looking slow. Robbo's needed a lot more time out this season just because of not being too fit and ready to go. Salah, Firmino, Mane, he's left, but Mane was happy to leave. Mane wanted to leave it, and at the end of the day, it just got too taxing, for him. So it's like that style of football. 2 years, we'll be flying. Outside of that, we're not going to be flying because the football just won't really work for a long time. So that's why I think he's got to change it to kind of allow for like Thiago. For me, Thiago unless we change the football like now, Thiago's got another season. After that, he's going to have to leave. He will 100% have to leave because you're not going to get the same output from a Thiago anymore. There's a lot of other players like that who I think are just going to break down. You can't be over 30. Other than James Milner is probably the only player I can think of because he's just a freak of nature. Outside of that, you can't be an older player and come to Liverpool. No way. You'll die in this team. You'll absolutely die. But go to Manchester City, Barcelona's, teams that play good football and rely on more ball work than actual running. They can play for years. Real Madrid, Modric is how old? Modric looks fitter than Fabinho. How does that work? How does that work? That shouldn't even make sense. But he looks fitter than Fabinho. Probably is fitter. But the style of play suits that kind of football and stuff like that. So Klopp would have to change something, to be honest with you, if he wants to get longevity for these players.
Didn't offer Modric another contract? Offered him a contract, didn't they?
There you go. And there you go.
I'm not sure. Let me have a look at Fabinho's deal while you guys are chatting there.
What it is though as well, guys. I don't want you guys. I don't think we should get rid of him so quickly. Here's my reasoning behind it, because I think if you make too much changes in the midfield, I'm not saying he should start, but it's good to have him around, because especially if we want to compete in every trophy next season, you're still going to need a player like him. So what I don't want to do is for us to think, I think probably some of the fan base are thinking we only want to challenge for the Prem and the Champions League. I want to go and challenge for everything again. I want to make sure we have enough players fit and available to challenge in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, whatever it is. I just want us to have a squad where we don't have to over-rely on whoever gets signed in the midfield. They can have a rest for the Carabao Cup games. So, I don't think we should just get rid of him so easy. Maybe with a bit of competition as well. Besetic gives him a chance to kind of see, this is what we expect from you. And then in the game yesterday, I don't think he did bad. I just think he came on, he had a job to do. That the game was more we needed to protect the lead. It wasn't that he wasn't brought on to kind of go, let's carry on playing the way we were playing. He was brought on to go sit in front of the back line and just get rid of the ball, make sure nothing gets through. And if you notice his positioning, he was always in between the line of the defense. So everything came to him, he was getting rid of it. And that's what we needed in that time in the game. So sometimes we can look too ahead of it, and I don't want us to think, he's not got it no more, we need to get rid of him, can replace him. Cool, that's true. You could probably replace him, but we still need that kind of player around. We don't want to just get rid of everyone, get rid of 3-4 midfielders and then bring in another 4, because then it's going to take them a time to gel. At least you can have someone in there, even if he's not playing his best. But maybe with different combinations, he might see the best. He might see him play a little bit better. Maybe he's just playing with the Thiago and Hendo. Maybe you need to see him with probably a Besetic just with him in there as a pivot, and then put someone else in there. I don't know. Different combination in midfield could work, and you might then see him come back to somewhat of near his best. Maybe not his best, but somewhat near. But don't get rid of him just yet. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a fair take on it. It's a fair take. I mean, personally, I thought Fabinho was tripe when he came on yesterday, but that was just, I thought he almost cost us. He almost cost us a goal. I thought he was but look, the Fabinho stuff's a mad one, because I just don't know. We can't see the future, so none of us can go, all right, this is what happens next year. Don't worry about it, guys. It's all going to be good. I just look at Fabinho, and the issues all started last season. There was parts last season where I remember we was having discussions and people were talking about Fabinho ain't quite right. There's something not quite right there about him at this moment in time, and getting a bit lost and it's carried up. So I don't know if Fabinho can be the Fabinho of old. I'd love it, but Enz is right at the same time. A whole clear out, unless you're buying good in, quality to cover that clear out. I can understand it. I mean, I'm just looking on transfer market right now, and if apparently Fabinho's contract runs out in 2026, he's got a long time on his contract.
Yeah, he's still got
a market value of 55 million. So, maybe one of the players they could use, but he's a decent player. Another player that's not playing for us at this moment in time, but playing for Blackburn. I've been just looking at his stats, old Tyler Morton, by the way. Don't Google Tyler Morton, whatever you do. Because I Googled Tyler Morton, and this is the picture I got. So Don't Google
Don't
Tyler
stop
Morton.
that.
I'm not lying, man. I literally Googled Tyler Morton and I got that image up.
But sorry, fam.
Stop it.
Apparently she's a proper wrong one. I've just been actually reading about her. She's like, don't go there. That is a wrong one, man. But Tyler Morton's played he's played all 26 games for Blackburn in the Championship this season. All 26 games for Blackburn. Because we've been calling some of the players back from loan, ain't they? Because they're not getting enough game time. But Tyler Morton's playing every single game. Every single game. What do we think about Tyler Morton? I'm OG said it. You know, he will be in the Liverpool midfield next season. He turns 21 in October. He turns 21 in October. So that will be able to be, I think, a homegrown registered. And the second half.
Maybe your Fabinho replacement there.
I mean, we sent him a Blackburn for a reason. We sent Harvey Elliott there, came back, better player.
You just got to look at some of these players and their deals and how the timing of these deals and how Liverpool's transfer policy is. And like, even if we was to, as an example, even if we got new owners, like, I don't know. I know some people think we're going to get new owners and we're going to start. Well, that's not happening. Like, we're not going to get new owners and just start splashing 300. That will never happen. Like, it would always have to be something that would be eventually gradual, or you'd have to make crazy wholesale changes, which the manager's not going to probably want to do unless you've maybe got in a new manager like Morton, Babitic, Fabinho, Hendo, Thiago. That's already what? 4 players there. Maybe one of Naby or Ox, that's 5. Curtis Jones is 6. Getting another midfielder or 2. You're going to have a lot of midfielders for next season, man. And it's going to be very interesting to see how all of these people fit in. Obviously, what Enz is saying about, you know, having, like, basically just having a competition so that we can fight on all fronts. Obviously, of course, you definitely, you know, you're definitely going to need that. It's just about who that is. Morton he's doing well on the Championship, man. He's doing well. I'm not going to begrudge the Championship too much, but yeah, for me, I just always look at these kind of things and just think to myself, this is why people need to look at that first before they start getting excited when they start seeing, hey, Caicedo, Enzo, Bellingham, this guy, that guy. It's like, where do you fit all of these guys? Like,
you know,
to get these guys in.
You know what I always say, like, it's quality trumps quantity and think that. At the moment, we've got a load of midfielders, but I would rather quantity in my team than quality in my team rather than quantity. Excuse me. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes, when you look at people like Curtis Jones, Tyler Morton, do you know what I mean? And players like that, you start to think to yourself, are they the quality that we need, or are they just quantity? Do you know what I mean? I would rather, at the end of the day, sort of like get rid of like 5 midfielders and have 3 quality midfielders. You know what I mean? 3 quality ones. Do you know what I mean? That's me. I think it's all right at the end of the day, sort of like Tyler Morton going on loan, doing bits at Blackburn and stuff like that. I respect that. Don't get me wrong, I respect that. But is he going to be at the quality of what we need for our midfield next season? Is he going to be that sort of person? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, if they get into like, if Liverpool getting linked with people like Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Amrabat, and Jude Bellingham, do you know what I mean? That's 4 quality midfielders there, quality midfielders. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather have them in there than have sort of like 11 midfielders in the day, right? That are not really at that quality to take us to the next level. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what we want. We want players in our squad to take us to the next level. We want players in our squad to say, well, you know what? We can challenge for League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, and the league. That's what we want. Do you know what I mean?
The problem you've got, though, is that I agree with you 100%. Of course, you want better players, but I mean, I want Pedri, Jamal Musiala, Verratti. Like, there's no point in having these guys because where do they even fit? Like I said, either you're getting rid of all the other names in the team, which I do not see happening. I just don't see Liverpool getting rid of
Yeah,
that in order for you to then say, because I want the same players you just named. They're the same players I wouldn't mind in the team, kind of thing. And maybe different ones, but you want the quality. But it's about how you're going to get rid of that. That's even there, unless you're willing to do that, where you say, all right, we're just going to have a exodus this summer. If Jurgen Klopp's still here, an exodus ain't happening, man. This guy ain't going to oversee no exodus of no team. He's just going to keep the same players kind of going and let them go.
At the same time, we are losing 3 midfielders as it stands at the end of the season. And then if you look at maybe loaning Curtis Jones to go and give him that first team football, so that'll be 4 midfielders out the team. So you have got space to reinforce it without really have to do much. That's already 3 men that's out of contract in the summer.
Let's go through this now. So these are going to be our midfield options we got. I got Stefan Bajatic down as a defender on here for some reason. I don't know why. I know he played there as a younger when he was younger years, didn't he? So, but yeah,
even when we signed him, he was a centre back. He was just
that's right.
Decided to play me. He could play centre back in CDM.
He's definitely a midfielder. He's definitely a midfielder. So our midfielders are Stefan Bajatic, Fabinho, Thiago, Milner, Keita, Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, Oxlade, Chamberlain, Henderson, Carvalho, Bobby Clark, Arthur, Frundolf. So that's our midfielders there. So Arthur's not going to be here. Ox is not going to be here.
Naby.
Naby's not going to be here, and possibly James Milner. So that keeps us Stefan Bajatic probably next season. Fabinho, Thiago, 3. Henderson, 4. Elliott definitely be here, 5. And then you've got Curtis Jones and Carvalho, which I don't know what you do with. So we have to bring midfielders in. So this is where the bit of the show where we talk about these transfers, and so a lot of talk is about Matheus Nunes. A massive lot of talk about Matheus Nunes at the moment. It looks like that's going to be the deal. When Paul Joyce starts tweeting about it, you're like, oh, okay, that looks like it's going to happen. So say you got Matheus Nunes in this team with Matheus Nunes, Henderson, who else was it? Thiago, Fabinho, and then you still need another one, don't you? So who will that other one be? So there's the talks of Ruben Neves this January. If you're a conspiracy theorist, that free kick he had right at the last minute of the game was the last touch of the game. Yeah. And he flicked it instead of shooting. Yeah. Conspiracy hat on was he did that on purpose. But I saw Wolves fan. I see Wolves fan on Twitter actually saying that as well. Like, Ruben Neves has been linked to Liverpool this January, and he's got a free kick in the last second of the game, and it's right on its perfect position for a shot with a man of his quality, and he just lame chips it to the back post. Yeah, I'm telling
probably
so he's come to Liverpool then, yeah?
We're clutching, man. I think he tried to be creative there.
Ruben Neves, maybe, but I think Matheus Nunes is definitely coming in. And then obviously the other one's Jude Bellingham. So say we only signed Jude Bellingham and Neves, yeah? That's who we signed this summer. So then we have a midfielder, say, Matheus Nunes, Jude Bellingham, Fabinho, Thiago, Hendo, Harvey Elliott, Carvalho, and Curtis Jones. They're still not good enough.
No, you need at least 3 midfielders, because I will be playing Carvalho as a 10. I'll be playing as a 10. I don't know what he's doing out on the left. He'll be playing as a 10. It's still not enough. We need at least the minimum we need this summer, and then if we're going to wait till summer, because it looks like we are now, do you know what I mean? The minimum we need is 3 quality midfielders. 3 quality midfielders. That is a minimum. So we could actually go over that, but that's a minimum we need. 3 quality midfielders. We can't get away with just getting 2. We can't. It's just not going to work. Not going to work.
Declan Rice would be the one I'd go for.
Oh, he's
I rate Declan Rice. I think he's a very good player, and he'd be the one, man. I think he suits Liverpool. He's like a younger version of Hendo for me, and a Declan Rice, a Bellingham, and a Matheus Nunes to go alongside Hendo, Thiago, Fabinho.
Mm-hmm.
That's your six there. That's your six midfielders.
Mm.
And then you got your youngsters like Stefan Bajetic and Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, Carvalho to play in the background, to have games here and there to take the pressure off the first team. I think that's something we need to look at, because you're looking at the players we're leaving and what we got left. 2 midfielders ain't enough.
I think it just depends on what type of profile of midfielders you also get. Like, I don't want another Fabinho. I don't want another Thiago. I don't want another Keita. I want a complete different set of midfielders, because you need to have some type of change. Like, you can't. I don't think it's good enough. I don't think it's a good thing. To have the same type of player always. Like, Bajetic isn't the same as Fabinho, even in his pomp. You know what I'm saying? The Fabinho wasn't that type of player. And Bajetic is obviously showing he's more, for me, Bajetic isn't going to be a destroyer. I'm not going to trust him to, put out crazy tackles. But what he is good at is, it looks like he's probably a good deep line playmaker. Probably someone who can sit deep and, pick up the ball from the centre backs, play passes, good in tight areas, etc., etc. Whereas Fabinho, he had it in him, but that's not really his game. But he was more of someone who broke up play and then can, pick out a pass somewhere, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes played the long ball. Thiago, I don't think we always need necessarily a Thiago in the team. Sometimes you might need to get a Declan Rice, for example. Henderson, that position is probably the trickiest one out of the 3, because it all depends on what the manager does with Trent Alexander-Arnold. You don't need a Henderson in the team if you don't have Trent. You don't need it. The position isn't necessarily something that's acquired, because you don't necessarily need someone who's going to be able to cover that right-hand side, because you don't have a right back who's constantly going forward and never in their position and is always caught out, blah, blah, blah. If you've got a different type of right back, maybe you don't necessarily need that type of right centre midfielder. Then you can have anyone really there. Like, then maybe even Elliott could even slot back in there and wouldn't need to worry about his defensive duties. So, yeah, it just depends on what type, because we're seeing a lot of midfielders who are linked. Matheus Nunes is not like Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves is not like Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is not like Amrabat. Amrabat is not like Caicedo. Caicedo is not like Enzo Fernandez. Like, they're all quite different midfielders. So it just depends on what you're looking for, what type of football are you trying to play. Are they coming in as the first teamer, or are they coming in as backup options, kind of thing? So, yeah, I think it really does just depend. And then who you keep. We didn't add Tyler Morton to this list. I keep telling you, he's coming back into that first team squad 100%.
Oh, yeah, he'll be back next season. I mean, he's played. Yeah. I was just looking at his stats again, and it's not just a league game. He's played every game. He's played 26 games in the Championship, 2 League Cup games, and 1 FA Cup game. So he's an integral part to what Blackburn are doing right now. So
are Blackburn in a promotion position, by the way? Does anyone?
I have no idea.
No, I was going to say, maybe if they came up, I would say perfect. Tyler Morton, get out of it. Go back on loan, stay there for another season, but stay there in the Premier League, and you're at a club where you're comfortable.
They're the 5th.
Yeah, they're in good.
So maybe that might be something that if they were to get promoted, now we're looking at that and thinking we already have a great relationship with them. We can loan them a couple players. Obviously, they're going to want to get more Premier League proven players like everyone else, but he'd be a great option for them to keep for one more season and let him play Premier League football for a whole season. I would love that.
Yeah,
absolutely love
that'd be good.
We gave him a contract for a reason, man. I think we're looking at someone like Tyler Morton as not the man for today, but the man for tomorrow sort of scenario. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
potentially, yeah.
They got a lot of eyes on him. And look, the homegrown quota is a real thing, man.
Yeah.
You have to fill it. Why do you reckon Scott Carson's still at Man City? Yeah. It's to fill them areas of the pitch for what you need. Just looking at our forward line, guys. So the midfield issue, there's a problem. So forward line, you got Bobby Firmino, Mo Salah, Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz, Darwin Nunes, Ben Doak, Leighton Stewart, Kay Gordon, who we've forgotten about, and Cody Gakpo. Forward, we are stacked. Ends. We are completely stacked in that forward area.
So I think you'll loan out Cade.
Yeah.
Kaida, how do you want to pronounce it? I think obviously Bobby will be unless he gets a new deal, will be gone as well. So that's 2. Doak, he's still fresh in terms of his career at the moment, so there's still time for him to develop. So I wouldn't worry about him too much. Leighton Stewart probably get sold or loaned out. So realistically, we'd only have we would have Gakpo, Nunes, Salah. Who else is there? Diaz. He's injured at the moment, so he'll be out there as well. And I'm thinking one more Jota. So I think that's perfect going into the new season.
It's a stacked area. How dare you, Jamie?
But that's what you're meant to have, though. Do you see what it is, Jamie? Especially with Liverpool as well, we get far too many injuries anyway. So we're a team that definitely needs to be stacked in every position. Because at one point in the season, we're going to lose. So we've been for a season where we lost the back line. We've been for a season where we lost the midfield. And we've been for a season now where we've lost all the forwards.
Next season, we're getting 0 injury.
And then we had a moment where we lost the goalkeeper as well. Because remember, there was one point when we had Adrian in goal. So maybe we're going back. Maybe it's going to, maybe next year is when no one gets injured. Maybe next year is where. So
maybe Klopp gets injured, isn't it? Klopp will get injured.
It's always we have a season where no one gets injured, and that's normally when we won the league that year. So maybe
let me ask you something. Would you loan out Ben Doak to Blackburn next season?
Yeah, no, I want to keep him, man.
I would loan him out,
I can understand that reasoning of the Ben Doak thing, but this Ben Doak might be a lot better than people realise.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you're going to use him, though. Like,
exactly.
As Enz just said, we're so stacked, you ain't playing. If everyone's fit, Ben Doak wouldn't even be touching the bench. Do you get if everyone was fit right now?
And don't forget, guys, Kay Gordon was meant to be the breakout star, wasn't he? He was meant to be the breakout star, but he was meant to be part of this squad this season. He was meant to have a good pre-season, and he was meant to be part of this squad this year. But because of his bad injury, he's only just come back. I think Klopp said he's back now. He's back in training again. So Cade was meant to have a big, he was meant to be really part of the squad, and because Doak's come in now, and you're like, is Doak taking Cade's spot now? And is Doak going to stay around, and Cade's going to be the one going on loan?
We need to start so there was a comment there mentioned about we need to start loaning. We do, man. So when it comes to these youngsters, I'm not happy with any of these youngsters loans. They always get loaned to some shitty team that you're just thinking what level of football is this? I want to see good loans where you're playing a good level of football, because then it's hard to really judge you. You know what I mean? Reece Williams was playing for flipping, was it Kidderminster Harriers? And we had to bring him back to that. I'm not trying to see that. No disrespect to Kidderminster Harriers, by the way, but I'm not trying to see that. And then you're coming back into my team and we're having to literally rely upon you, because obviously we were in a crisis. That shouldn't be happening. Reece Williams should have been at a championship minimum. And even then I'm looking at, why is he not at a higher level? Is he not good enough? No problem.
So it's not that just G's, because we don't play them enough. So when teams are looking or scouting them as okay, we want to loan them, there's no real evidence that they can come in and do well in, say, the Bundesliga or the Spanish league or wherever you want to loan them to decent.
But then by that margin, Lavia never played for Manchester City. He's playing Premier League football for Southampton at the moment. Where did that evidence come from? All you had was academy football to rely upon. Now, obviously, yes, you can say he was sick in academy football, but there is enough evidence in academy football for you to say. Now, obviously, I just used him because he was just the first name that popped into my head. But it just seems like all of our academy, it always just seems like a theme where the level of club, I think, is it Peterluga, was at Macclesfield, I believe? I want to say
the point.
Yeah, Macclesfield, this is the level of quality of teams that we're loaning. We're not
who we're linked
to all of these. Sorry, it's just for me when I fully agree with you though. Of course, there's not enough evidence for him to go to Ajax to go for a season. I get that, but it does seem to me that with Liverpool's players, especially the youth players, they're always being loaned. Tranmere Rovers. It's teams of a level where you're thinking to yourself, right, okay, unless this person lights it up, it's just going to do a madness in that team, in that league, you're not going to be confident that this player is coming back. Even Blackburn, Blackburn in Championship, so it's like I'll give him a blight, but that's the best that we've ever had. Like, why is it not being utilized around Europe? Why is it not being utilized?
It's just the clubs that we're linked with. It's just the clubs that, in terms of the feeder clubs, that we would be like, okay, you can go here. So let's use Ben Doak as an example, right? We've seen enough from him in the games that he's played. You could see that he can easily have the pick of the bunch now. So we said to Europe, we want to loan this kid out for his next step. Top clubs will be coming for him because they can see he's played enough games now where they're like, okay, there's something in this player. We can actually improve. But with the other ones, it's like Reece Williams. He played when we had that injury crisis. Teams were looking at him, but we decided not to sell him. They were like, no, we don't want to loan him. We want to buy him. And they were like, no, we want to keep him. That whole sentimental thing. Same with Nat Phillips. We could have got 20 mil for him, easy 15 mil for him, but we've done that sentimental thing. But Liverpool's had quite a lot of players out on loan. But I get what you're saying. We don't loan them to decent teams. But none of these guys literally all they're doing is seeing them in the academy or under 23s, and then we're loaning them to a team just to give them men's football. That's all.
That's the problem, though, isn't that's what I don't like? Is that I get it, of course, 100%. Come on, man. We like they need to start playing men's football, otherwise they're not going to be ready for that next step anyway. But it does seem to be a thing where, for me, anyway, I've like, having watched the academy, I just know that they're not as good quality-wise as some of the other academies I'm seeing. I'm not saying like Arsenal Academy, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, Southampton, Derby, to Birmingham City. All of those have very good academies, and their players are actually really, really good. Not all of them are going to break through. Not all of them are going to make it, of course, but it does seem to be a theme that the teams that we're loaning the players out to, I can't think of one player I'm trying to think now, who's gone out on loan anywhere, whatever league, and come back into the Liverpool team, other than Harvey Elliott. And Harvey Elliott only got injury. Otherwise, I don't think he would have really have been starting that many games of last season anyway. Take him out of the equation. Again, it's like, how do you expect these guys to even really come in? Do you get what I mean? I want to see the guys go out and I want to see, I don't know, Ben Doak go out and smash it up, come back, and he's just
that guy. What's his name? Nat Phillips. That's what I'm saying. He had 2 loan spells in the Bundesliga. That's why you know what I mean. He's come back and he's played well. I think that's the sort of level we got to go to. Go to Germany and Spain and Italy and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because as I said it in the day, right? Them playing at Tranmere Rovers and Blackburn, not too bad, but all these other League 1, League 2 teams in the field, I don't think you only learn so much. If you go to places like France, Germany, Italy, Spain, you get to learn more. That's why you see that like Nat Phillips came back in the thing and he played that season when we had sort of like, obviously, you know, we didn't have defenders, and he came in and he adapted and he played very well. Do you know what I mean? He played very well. He was integral to sort of like us getting to where we wanted to get to. The amount of headers he was winning, you know what I mean? He was scored a goal and so forth. Do you know what I mean? So putting them out to sort of places like Germany and places like that, they get to learn a bit more and different stuff, different things than what they would learn in a League 1, League 2 Championship. Do you know what I mean? You know, I mean Blackburn at the end day is an okay team. They're all right, but it's still Championship. It's still not at the level of a Premiership. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? You want somebody at the day that's going to like know what it feels like to play at the top flight. Do you know what I mean? And the only way you do that.
But even that, like, I don't necessarily need, unless they're a certain type of, like Tyler Morton, for example, next season cannot go below the Premier League level. Like, I'll be like, well, what would be the point in doing that? But that's him at that next season level. This season, Championship was perfect for him. I don't need every player to be at the Premier League. No way, because that's never going to happen, and they're not good enough anyway. So I unless they're really, really good in that academy where you can just tell that, like Lavia, you just knew this guy was ready for Premier League football. Lower down, obviously, at Southampton, where he can get game time, he can develop. But when I'm looking at some of these other players, I am just looking that, cool, you're being loaned out to Tranmere Rovers. Okay, that's fine. But then next season, you're then being loaned out to, I don't know, Oxford United. Like, it's like I'm starting to see a thing. I'm like, maybe that's your level then, because you haven't really gone up or anything like that. you're kind of staying at that same level where you're not even really excelling at that level either. It's different if you were going to like a League One, League Two team, playing really, really well. You've gone up League One now, don't mind that. Done really, really well. Championship, done really, really well. And then, eventually you get your time. If you're going to be staying at the same League One, League Two level for 2-3 loans, like 2-3 seasons in a row, your time's already done. Don't even bother looking at the first team because that's already gone now.
Do you know also with that as well, G, right? I'd say, because obviously you're thinking along the same wavelength as me. Sometimes we think loan the player because we want to see these guys get in the first team eventually. It's not always like that. I think you always get your handpick, maybe 5 of the academy players. You're like, okay, these boys have the best opportunity to kind of make it into the first team. So these are the 5. But then you've got 20 other kids. So how do we best suit them and help them along their journey? Okay, cool. You're going to have to go on loan to these clubs to show how good you can be. And then we can sell you to these guys. But that's not the 5. The 5 that you see is the Tyler Mortons, the Ben Doak, Harvey. These are the guys, Carvalho, Curtis Jones. They're the ones that you're like, okay, they will get into the team. We don't know if they're going to ever become the players we want them to become, but these are the ones that stand the best chance. The rest of the guys are like, okay, we can't just release them. We got to make sure we protect them because they come through our academy. So we got to do the best for the players. So that's why you're going to see these Oxford loans, these crazy little Div 1, Div 2 loans. And you're like, that don't make sense because I want to see this guy play in the first team. But that's not their thought. They've already picked the 5 or the 3 that's going to get into the team. So we think of it as like, if I was the manager, I would make sure I loan these guys out to these top teams so they can go and develop, become good to come in the first team. That's not their thought process. They're like, no, we've already got quality in those positions, and these are the next 5 that's coming through. Unless you do something outstanding on loan, you ain't going to get back in this team. It's just protect the value so they've got someone to sell, I think. But yeah, we think of it as like the managers, innit? But they don't think of it like that.
You guys are right, man. But look, let's talk about these forward lines going into the rest of the season, into next season. So we know Bobby Firmino, apparently the rumours are Bobby Firmino wants to stay at Liverpool for the rest of his footballing career. He wants to stay playing at the highest level he possibly can. So he wants to stay at Liverpool. He's comfortable staying at Liverpool. He doesn't want to leave Liverpool. I think one of his kids were born while he's been here. Yeah. So, he loves the place. He loves the team. He loves the city. He doesn't actually want to go anywhere. Now, sentimental me is like, I don't want Bobby to go either, right? I like Bobby Firmino. Look at his stats this season. 7 goals in 13 appearances in the Premier. These are only Premier League stats with 3 assists, yeah? Mo, 7 in 18, 4 assists. Darwin, by the way, 5 in 13 and 2 assists. So we're slagging Darwin off. We're looking at Mo's stats here as the more experienced player out of the 2.
So no one's got 10 goals, nah.
Hey, listen, G, all I'm seeing is 7 in 13 from Darwin, bro. That's what I'm looking. That's a good return still.
5 in 13.
Nah, man. Goal contribution, bro.
Nah.
GA, man. GA.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Whatever.
But to be fair, 5 in 13. And look. Bobby
5
Firmino.
in 13 is like a 1 in 3. Or just under 1 in 3.
Oh, wow. I'm just looking at Diaz. So what is that? 8 games, 3 goals? That's 5.
8 goals, 3 goals, and 2 assists. I mean, that for Diaz, that's a great record for Diaz. To be fair,
what would he be on if he was still in?
He's been massively missed, massively.
Yeah,
Jota's only played 4 games this season. It's so sad.
4 games. Shit.
Look at that, 4 and 8, bro. That's mad.
That's just them 2 combined have only played 12 games. That Jota and Diaz. Madness. Bobby Firmino, though, guys. Do we let him go? Do you give him another contract? If you do give him another deal, what is the kind of contract you'd give him? 2 years?
Let the guy go, man. Shit.
Hey, you want to give
a
chance, Jamie, bro? Don't you want to give Doak his run in the team, Jamie?
Sorry, say it again, man.
You want to give Doak the run in the team, right?
Yeah, I would Doak to stay in the squad.
Then. Bobby has to go then, bro.
Bobby has to go.
Let him go. Fair enough. What do you think the club does?
Klopp
keeps him, innit? Klopp keeps him. Top keeping. Klopp ain't gonna get rid
You
of
know
him.
what bugs me as well, yeah? You got to remember, as much as I think what N said earlier on, that really caught my ear about, because we get so many injuries, you almost have to be so stacked in more or less every position. Any other normal club, you can't have 6 strikers, like 6 forwards like this. Because you got, like, think about it. Remember, they're just forwards. They can't play no other position. Like, it's not like Jack Grealish or, like, you know, a Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden. They can play midfield and attack. So you add them into everything. These guys can only play forward, meaning only 3 of them can play at any given time. And that's if he plays 3. He might play 2 one day. So that's 4 man just sitting on the bench. So it's like, then I'm looking at
on the bench either.
Yeah, exactly. So then now I'm just like, all right, cool. But like in my mind, I think, yeah, that's stacked still. Like it's all right. But then I also sit there and think to myself, bro, I feel like that's almost too much. But what N said about the injury and stuff, it clicked into my head, and I was like,
here's the thing, though, G.
Ed, before you say something, I got a dip still. So I'm gonna big up the man them still before I dip and all that. You know, I didn't just want to just dip like that. Just come out like that.
Go on.
You know what I mean? So guys, and then everybody smash the like button for my brethren. You know what I mean? Doing some good works, man. So smash that like button. Subscribe if you ain't subscribed, man. Show some support to my brethren, man. He's doing some good work, man. So big up Ends, big up G, big up Jamie. I'll catch you guys soon. You got a show tomorrow, innit?
Rod, before you go, are you available Friday night?
Yes. I don't think I'm doing anything Friday. No, yeah, I'm available.
The After Dark podcast is back Friday night.
People are dead.
So if you're there, my man. All right.
G, you coming on, G? You coming on, G?
Friday nights, maybe.
It's gonna be like late Friday night, like 10 p.m. It's like it's the non.
I like to get busy on my Friday night.
It's the non-football show.
Man's on a chopping thing on Friday still, you know, G, isn't it?
It's the non-football show. It's anything goes, basically. Anything goes. No one's safe. Yeah. So yeah. Roz,
listen, guys, I'll catch you guys up soon. Yeah. You got a show tomorrow, Jamie?
Yeah, shows every day, man. Shows every day.
Yeah, send me a link, man. I'll fast stream, man.
No way.
So big up the man them still, yeah? Bless up.
Love.
Bless up, my man. Yeah, so if Bobby goes, I've been saying this for a while. We have got a lot of attacking talent up top, and it is probably too many. Because we play with 3, and you can't have all 3 on the bench either, because you have to make room for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So someone's always going to not be in the squad. So if Bobby's leaving, that leaves Mo, Jota, Diaz, Darwin. If Doak stays, and Gakpo, you know, Harvey can play in the forward area. I mean, that's still 7. That's mad.
How many subs are you allowed?
Is it 9 subs, and you're allowed to bring 5 on? So would you want 3 forwards out of the 9?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends who you're playing, I suppose,
and
who you got available. But I mean, if Bobby stays, it is what it is. We got now is what we go with next season.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this quickly. Someone comes in 60 to 70 million for Luis Diaz. Do you let him go?
No chance.
No. I know I'm letting go, though.
Who?
Salah.
Depends on how much. It would depend on how much they would offer.
I think if
you'd have to offer me 60 million.
If 80 million comes in for Mo,
nah, no one's buying Mo for 80 million. No way.
I think the club.
Nah, do you
know what it is for Mo though? It's his. It's not what he does on the pitch so much no more. It's what he can sell by his brand. I mean, we can't not. He's in the Arab world. His face sells everything. He's basically the pin-up, you know, and he's one of the biggest commercial guys out there in world football, and he's huge for that. And people will top will buy him mainly because of that.
Let me ask you another question then, yeah?
You're just trying to get.
Would you swap Luis Diaz for Kvaradona?
No.
No. I ain't seen enough of the geezer at Napoli, Kevin as I like to call him. Right, he's had a good half season so far, man. He's had a great half season.
But so is Diaz, though. Diaz hasn't had a full season at Liverpool.
I never saw him before Napoli, so I can't say how good he was before Napoli. And I'm always do you know what it is? I'm always worried about buying players that look great for half a season sometimes. You know, like, yes, he's cooking and he's doing bits right now, but I've been saying this for a while. Maybe he plays in a system that suits him to his abilities. You put him in another system, maybe he just don't look that great. I've been saying that with Mo. I do think if you put Mo in a different system, he might not look as good as he is, right? I think that's all. But yeah, would I say? I don't know. I think Diaz gives us. I think Diaz is the one. Darwin, out of all of them, Darwin and Luis Diaz are the two I'd keep out of everyone for the future.
Do you know the other thing?
Listen, man. If someone told me, yo, you can get Darwin for like 70, 80 mil, I'll be like, yo, chop your hand off. But all right, I'll give you one more. Yeah.
Oh, one second.
Go on,
why does everyone keep saying that Diaz ain't gonna come back? Like everyone's physios all of a sudden.
Oh, what? Because of his knee injury,
bro. Do you know how many players? Virgil should never have come back from his.
Virgil should be walking.
Gomez shouldn't even be walking. His knee was missing.
Nah,
his leg.
Diaz will be fine. Diaz, it's 2023, man. Science and technology.
Christ.
He's already in the gym doing light work.
I already see.
He's
see
fine,
him,
man.
Man's going on like the guy's gonna come back.
Do you really like? Do you like? I'm just listening to you both of your conversation. Yeah. Do you rate this guy like really, really highly, like Diaz?
100%.
Well, Luis Diaz. Yeah. He's the creative winger we need. I
don't rate him that highly at all. Like, but I'm genuinely wondering. In terms of when I hear people speak about it.
With Liverpool under Klopp, we've had goal-scoring wingers, ain't we? Like your Mane's and your Salahs, and you know we've had goal-scoring wingers under Jurgen Klopp under all this time. And you know, Luis Diaz is not a goal-scoring winger. Luis Diaz is a creative winger, and I think Luis Diaz is the key for Darwin Nunes. Personally, the two times they played together, you know, Diaz I think assisted him. Yeah, it was nice. You know, what we always say about Darwin is an instant finisher. Even you said it, G. He's an instant finisher. He likes to be in the box and have not think about it. Right, that's where he's best at. The two times, the most of the tap-ins he's got are all from Luis Diaz assists. And if you get them two playing together next season for quite a lot, I think they'll do well. But we got to move forward as a team maybe to do that as well. So to fit them in. But yeah, Luis Diaz is a creative winger. I'm all for, man. I'm all for.
No, I'm like, I don't think it's shit or anything like that.
Because you got Mane as a left winger who scores 20 a season, Salah as a right winger who scores 20 a season, and we've been so lucky to have them two in their absolute prime at our football club doing what they did. And then you go to Luis Diaz, who's more like a 10 to 15 a season, but he's more, you know, creative in the wider areas. And plus, he's a proper winger.
Yeah.
He's an actual winger where Mane and Salah are inside forwards, ain't they? They come inside and play two at the top almost. Where Diaz is proper old school, can stay really wide on the touchline scenario. So maybe we've got to play better to his strength.
Gee, what do you need him to do for you to rate him?
Stop shooting.
He's got 3 goals in 8 games, and half the time he's either hit the post.
You got to realize, bro, that one of the goals was in a 1-1 draw against Palace. The other goal was
still a goal lead, though, man.
No. But like his best performances this season, go back and watch it. Luis Diaz's best performances for Liverpool this season have been when we played poorly. That's been his best performances this season. Napoli game.
Should
got absolutely butt fucked in that game.
Should that not be a plus for him though, G? Because we're playing poor and he's the one picking up the reins.
No, but what then happened is that
there's his Premier League record for Liverpool: 21 games, 7 goals, 5 assists. That ain't that bad.
No, I'm not saying that. You know, this guy. I'm not like getting. I'm not saying that this player, like, stats can tell you a lot of things. The stats don't really impress me enough to rate him as like higher than this kind of thing. Because if that was the case, we should all be on the feet of Mo Salah right now. But we can see in his performances aren't really, Yeah, I mean, it's the stats that are keeping it at a level where you just have to just keep a guy there, and that's what I see with someone.
What's your two measuring stick then? Because I go eye test and then I do the stats thing. And
No,
he's got it. What don't you like about him in the eye test? Because he quick beats players 1v1. He's exciting when he gets on the ball.
Let's put it this way: him and Robertson do not work in this team.
Okay,
they don't work as a partnership. So when I can only talk about him in this team. So for Porto, I don't know who the left back was. It probably worked. When I see him in this team, he's someone who holds onto the ball too long, doesn't release it when it's supposed to be released, takes too many shots, and you're not clinical enough to be taking the amount of shots that you are taking, even though you have scored goals. But he takes so many shots where you're almost in a position where it's like he's got to take 10 shots and he will score eventually at some point in time. Whereas we don't play as a team like that. So you can see the relationship between him and Robbo. It doesn't work. Robbo is so much more comfortable playing with Darwin Nunes because he's so similar to Sadio Mane in terms of how direct he is and stuff like that. Diaz is seeming like someone who loves to cut in. And again, I'm not saying he's shit or like any of that. It's just he's someone I look at him and I feel like you'd end up getting frustrated with someone like this over a period of time because you hold on to the ball for so long sometimes. It's like, bro, just release it. Yes, you're fast. Yes, you can beat a man. You're for me, I almost look at you like you're like a better version with probably the same amount of skills, maybe a bit less than a Saint Maximum. Like you're putting in that same level of like, yes, you can beat a man. You're quick. You can shoot. But you're frustrated because these things are not always consistent. So when we're in games where we need something a little bit different, I'm always looking at it and thinking, shit, all right, cool. Yeah, you've taken your sixth shot for today and it's probably hit a defender or it's hit the post or it's gone wide or maybe he's hit the ball. I don't know. It's like, I can't say I need more from him because that's his game. But
do you know what it is? Those games you're talking about, and this is why it's crazy because the games that teams don't sit deep, he actually scores when he gets 1v1. The games you're talking about more when they've done the low block, and then he's trying to wiggle away and try and get shots away. So he's also trying to miss a player out while shooting. That's why he's always hitting the post. It's never been a thing where he's run through and miss because I've seen him run through Dick, the goalkeeper. Porto, he killed the goalkeeper heading wise. He scored 2 against Bournemouth at the start of the season with 2 headers. Like, it's games where teams play low block. I get your point, but we can't use that and say he's going to frustrate you over a longer period of time. Because the only games I've seen him struggle is the low block games. But
we're playing.
Go on.
No, finish.
No, so the games that when we open up the game, he plays well. Arsenal, he was our best player on the pitch until obviously he got the injury. Well, obviously when Partey did what he did to him. But overall, he was playing well this season. There was nothing, I couldn't see there was nothing in his game that was like, oh, he hasn't turned up. He carried on from where he was from January into this season. And it's such a shame that he couldn't have carried on where he was if he didn't get that injury. But I do get what you're saying, the games where he's had a lot of shots. That's because Mo's been non-existent. That's because the midfielders, when he gets on the ball, they don't want a pass to feet. The only person in midfield this season that's actually wanted to have a touch of the football without worrying and panicking and passing it away is Thiago. Everyone else is hiding, bro. So I get your point. He should pass it earlier, but he's looking and players are not coming up with the front line. They're all just sitting deep.
I feel like
I
do hear that, but we're coming up against more teams who are sitting low than teams who are coming out to play. So cool. Against your Arsenals, maybe a Cities, United, maybe kind of thing. We're playing more teams who are sitting deep. So when I'm watching him play, that's what I'm seeing. Yes, in your old game. When he came when he came in the January, for me, he was like a bounce. He was just that kind of rejuvenation. And you got, again, context is everything. Mane was stinking up the place on that left-hand side. Anything was going to be better. So as soon as you see someone who's electric, who's beating players, he's explosive and stuff like that, boom, straight away, the fan base goes crazy. And it's like, yeah, this has got to be the new winger and stuff like that. When Jamie mentioned about him and, what's his name? Darwin Nunes, I see the total opposite. Them two cannot play together on the same team. They occupy the exact same positions on the pitch. I think there was the 2 games you're even mentioning, I'll be honest, I saw those 2 games back. Look at the heat maps of both of those players. They're in the same positions. I think there was even a couple of times where they bumped into each other. I don't ever see that anywhere else for anybody else. Like that just seemed to happen with Darwin Nunes and Luis Diaz. Now, obviously, that's just those two in particular, and that's just those two games. But when I'm watching someone like a Luis Diaz, I'm not saying that he isn't a good option. I think he's a very good option to have on the bench or playing some, in certain games and stuff like that. 100%. Definitely not saying that. I don't have him in a team where I'm like, yeah, I need my starting 11. Diaz is the guy going to start, because I'm always like, yes, if it's a game where the other team is going to come out like Arsenal did, if they're going to come out at you, you got to play Diaz, because he can be isolated 1v1. If it's going to be like 60 to 70% of the other games we're going to play in the season, are you that guy, Diaz? You're going to frustrate us more than anything, because you want to cut in. You want to hold on to the ball. As you said, no one's making the runs, but no one's making the runs because there isn't runs to actually make, because teams are sitting a little bit deeper against us. So then I'm just like, all right, you're maybe a bench option for me then. Maybe like over a majority of the season, I might not need to necessarily use you as much. Darwin Nunes, for example, I've seen him, as much as I criticize him, I've seen him against low blocks and against teams who come out. There's no problem with him. He's got no issues. He can still create the chances, low blocks or teams who come out at him. So that's someone who I would want in terms of the profile of player on that side. Diaz is more, some games here, you come in and do that. And again, the fancy tricks and stuff, I don't get jazzed by that stuff. I don't really care about that. Like, I'm more about your output really on the pitch. Unless you're Neymar, someone who can mix both output with the skills and stuff, he's not that. So it's like, you're going to have there's going to be a deficiency in one of the two. So with that in mind, that's why I'm a bit more, I like Nunes preferably on that left as opposed to having Diaz. But option, 100%. I do not mind to have that as an option, like in every other game and that. But what you're saying is true.
We're not putting Nunes on the wing, by the way, G. I'm never gonna.
I ain't putting Nunes up. So I don't want Nunes as my striker ever. Like ever. I don't want that.
Let's move on from there. Big up, Baz. How you doing, man?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Big up, Baz, bro.
All good. I was just looking at Salah's stats there. So, like, as a stats alone, right, it's fucking mad. At 211 Premier League appearances and 127 Premier League goals and 51 assists, and 3 golden boots. It's just,
look at his worst season.
His worst season's still a good season, though. Do you know what I mean?
No, but his worst season just happened to be the year that we won the Premier League. Don't you find that funny? I find that quite coincidental. 19
Premier League goals, though, but he's a winger. I mean, it's still a good record. Do you know what I mean? His goals to game ratio is ridiculous. 32 and 36, 22 and 38, 19 and 34, 22 and 37, 23 and 35, even 7 and 18. That's still a good goal to game ratio. 3 the golden boots. That was 3 years in a row, I think, apart from that. 2 years in a row. They missed a year, then the following year. Been player of the season. It's just.
This is why he's my guy. You can't talk on Salah.
His record is ridiculous. But do we have a bit of a Mo Salah issue right now?
You just said he's got the bloody good goal to game ratio.
His goal to game ratio is fantastic. That is not what I'm worried about. Salah's all about output. He's all about output. But is his output? Because I think Mo would be looking at it now. Like, I think everyone's been talking about this lately. If Mo gets 2 goals in a game, but he's had 27 touches all match, do you think Mo's bothered?
Yeah, I don't think he's not a professional. He would be bothered. And it's a great point you said. That's what I was hearing Savage talk about the other day still, about him worrying about his records and stuff like that. But it's down to us as well, because we start getting gassed when we're like, he scored.
We picked it up.
He's broken this record. He's broke. I'm like, bro, I don't care about that. I care about winning games of football. So when we lose a game, but you've now climbed above Steven Gerrard or whatever it may be, I don't care. I want to win the game, bro. Your one goal was dead, bro. We didn't win the game. I need you to be scoring all the other ones that you're fluffing. At the moment, he needs to be at the team because we're starting games. Look at yesterday. You saw how hard Harvey Elliott worked. If Trent was playing there yesterday, he would have been perfectly protected. Milner was protected well yesterday. I didn't see him. No one go 1v1 at any point, 2v1. It was just Milner and Harvey down that side, always doubling up on players. And that's what Salah doesn't give us because he's always trying to stand at the halfway line waiting for over-the-top passes. And nah, man, he needs to get a rest at the moment, bro. Go and sit down and relax. I don't care about your outputs right now this season because what your output ain't helping us this season. It's not like in the season where it's helping us. It's not. Them one goals that you're scoring ain't helping us, bro. I don't
know. You weren't saying that when we beat Man City, though. You know what I'm saying? You weren't saying,
bro. But he missed before that. He could have cost us because he missed the other one, didn't he?
No, I'm trolling.
Yeah, nah,
I agree with you, bro. I feel like Salah's my guy. He's my favorite player in the team. Like, that's the elite winner, the only real elite winner in this team, in my personal opinion. He's the one I look at and I think that's the guy who you just all you care about is just winning. I love that because that's how I am. But totally 100% agree with you. He needs to be dropped because now it's getting to a point where you're not Lionel Messi, you know. You can't just walk around the pitch and offer me nothing. You get what I mean? Because it doesn't work like only Messi can do that because Messi is an exceptional alien of a talent. You cannot do that. You're not of that level and you never will be of that level. You need to be dropped because you need to start understanding that maybe I'm not the Don Dada of the team. I heard the reports coming out this week about guys were thinking that Mane was actually the best player or the best forward anyway in this team. So if that's the case, you need to start bucking up your ideas because we put you, and I'm harsh on him because I was the one champion for him to get that deal. I was like, bun Mane, because I prefer Salah over Mane. But if you got the players now telling you that they think that Mane was the better player, bro, buck up your ideas. We gave you the 350k, you know, and we let go of Mane. And these guys want Mane back, seemingly. So if that's the case, as N said, you're not like some of these goals you're scoring ain't winning us games. We're 9th. So you're not doing anything that's really helping us. You're helping yourself, but you're not helping us. You're like Harry Kane with Spurs. You're this record goal scorer who's done nothing for their football club. It's getting a little. Obviously, he's done stuff. Obviously, over it. But I mean, in terms of this season, like you're not doing anything. It's not helping us, Mo. So I need you to buck up. I need you to do what Hazard would have done in his prime at Chelsea. Take the game by the scruff of the neck. You go out and score that goal for us. You pick up the ball. You're dribbling. Obviously, I know he can't, but something where you're just galvanizing the team in some way with your performances. You're not going to do that. You're just standing there waiting for Darwin Nunes to do some crazy run and then get the ball to you. Like, it's hurting me even speaking about Salah like this because I like him so much as a player. But yo, we gave you this big money, man. I'm not trying to see you doing nothing because if you're doing nothing, Ben Doak, can I see you play, please? I'd rather that.
Harvey Elliott, bro.
Oh, Harvey Elliott, sorry. Harvey Elliott.
Your thoughts, Baz, on Mo at the moment?
Yeah, he's not doing enough for me, to be fair. Look, when I look at him, he wastes a lot of chances, though. Yes, he's our top scorer. You know what I mean? His goal scoring has been great for Liverpool, but the thing with him, he is very wasteful. And when he's not, you know, I watched him yesterday. He came on, did nothing again. You know what I mean? They played him. I think there was a time where they played him in there, and it was a 4-4-2. So he was up front, just didn't offer anything. And he just like G says, you know, he needs to buck up his ideas because, you know, this is a team thing, and I'm thinking that he's just looking at it as just personal achievements and stuff like that. I think he's gone past that stage now where it used to be a team thing. Now it's just based on his own stats. So yeah, look, he's still our main finisher. Do you know what I mean? And you know, flowers are due, but at the end of the day, he does have to buck up a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we all love Mo. I mean, his stats are ridiculous. I mean, he's 7th in our all-time goal scorers. I mean, it's mad. He just took over Kenny Dalglish, arguably Liverpool's greatest ever player. He scored 173 goals for Liverpool in 282 games. I mean, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Robbie Fowler is next in his list. Robbie Fowler is 10 goals in front of Mo right now. So by the end of the season, Mo could be 6th or 5th as all-time greatest Liverpool goal scorer. Fowler's on 183 and Stevie G's on 186. And Mo's on 173 right now. By the end of the season, Mo Salah could be our 5th all-time goal scorer. That's just a madness.
Do you know what, Jamie? I don't care about Fowler. His next thought should be how many goals should I be scoring against Chelsea to help us win this game?
You know, like
about,
that. You know,
yeah,
like
about
that.
Robbie Fowler, man.
Should be.
You know, like that.
It's just like because I'm just kind of he's pissing me off a bit because even you're right when he came on in that game, I think Klopp should have probably put him out in the wing though, but played him up top. He was just non-existent. The ball wouldn't stick to him, so he just kept coming back. It was like a useless sub. He was just standing up there for no reason. So
his output, that's all he cares now at the moment, ain't it? Like
yeah,
you said, like, but we as fans can be guilty of it because we keep going on about the records he's breaking, the records he's breaking.
Listen,
so he feeds off it. He does feed off it. There's no doubt about it. When you ask him in interviews, when he talks in interviews about goals and all that, you know, you can see it in his eyes and the way he talks. He wants these records as an individual. You know, big up to him as well. He should want these records as an individual, but there's something about the way he's playing at the moment. It looks like you guys saying, he's sort of like, it's almost wasted out there wide, don't he? He's almost wasted out there in that right-hand side.
Where'd you play him?
Do you know what? He's not wasted. It's just the fact that he's not playing he's like playing within himself. He's holding on to the ball for too long. A Mo Salah that's confident, he just gives it and goes. And then when he gets inside the box, he comes alive. At the moment, he's just not doing none of that. He's like laying it off, then he's jogging, then he might walk. He's not playing with any like excitement, energy in his body. He's just like going through the motions. So maybe seeing what Harvey did against Wolves the other night, maybe he comes against Chelsea, he starts to see the old Mo again. Maybe. Me
and G spoke about this earlier. I think we need to piss him off. You know what I mean? We need because Mo is extremely comfortable. He's extremely comfortable. When Mo's fit, if it's a Premier League game, Mo's fit, Mo's playing, ain't he? We could do a team sheet right now for Chelsea. I think we can pick Alisson and Salah as probably the two players that will probably play against Chelsea. Right, and then everything. So he's very, very comfortable in himself at the moment. Does he, Baz, need to come out of the team for a little bit and just to kick up the arse? Just to kick up the arse.
Absolutely. Listen, at the end of the day, all right, you know, there's been no one that's challenged him, and right at the moment, you know what I mean? Like, well, the last few years, his numbers have been great. You know what I mean? It's just this season I've noticed that he's just pretty much, he's got that big contract. He's just sitting back. He's just kicking back, doing his personal, his personal little records and stuff like that. And we need someone to cover him, because the thing is, all right, as much as your Harvey Elliott's and your Ben Dokes are great, promising players, yeah, they'll never start ahead of him. They need I've always been a guy. I've always wanted Moussa Diaby. Moussa Diaby, okay, is a one that can challenge him. Yes, I do appreciate he ain't going to come and sit on no bench, but that's the thing. He's younger than Mo Salah. I'm hearing Arsenal are interested in him as well. But he needs someone to challenge him, and the people like Doak and Harvey Elliott, it's just he's going to sporadically play them, and he's just not getting challenged. You know, the only way you start playing is when you're looking, you know, behind you, and you know there's someone there that's going to challenge you. And I think with Mo Salah, you know what I mean, he is getting a bit complacent for me, and he does need dropping every now and again, you know, for a good kick up his backside. He does need it. No player, you know, is bigger than the team, including Mo Salah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was about to say. Like you said, Moussa Diaby's about to go, or Arsenal looking at him.
They're looking, yeah.
The guy plays on the right or the left. He ain't replacing Saka, and he ain't replacing Martinelli. But for some reason, he can go to Arsenal and be an option there.
It's a weird one, because...
No, but that's depth, though. What Baz is saying, that's what we need.
Not paying. Thing is, though, they're not paying 100 million for depth. That's what Thingy want for him. If it's 100 million quid, that's what he's going to cost.
But they can't. On the bench. If they paid that for him, I wouldn't look at that deal and think, "Oh, you just paid 100 million for a guy to sit on the bench." Now you're paying 100 mil because Saka can't play every game. Martinelli can't play every game. Who's to say that?
I agree with you. I just don't think Arsenal are a team that's going to pay £100 million for a squad player.
Yeah, maybe not Arsenal.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what they're interested. That's why it's so.
So Mudryk, what would they have done with Mudryk then? Because they bidded the same. It was the little details.
Again, with this Mudryk geezer, I've literally never heard of him I know a lot of people have never heard of him before this transfer came up. That's why I find this whole transfer thing mad. I've
Yeah.
never seen him play. I don't know. A lot of people were saying it. A lot of people have been saying it. Unless you're really a hardcore European football fan that knows all about that.
Football first, Jamie. Football first.
Yeah, you know what I mean? All about that, like European football and Ukrainian football, and watch them all the time. I mean, to be fair, people have been watching them. You know, good luck to them because, you know, that league stopped for a long time because of the war. So I don't know where they're watching him. So, like,
He must be a good player. I never even
heard of him. I never even fucking heard of him. I mean, he might have looked good one or two times to people, but I always say about these people, like they see him one or two times, they say, oh, this and that. What about the 30 times that you know? What about the 30 times that no one saw him and he put in stinkers? Do you know what I mean? We never know. So I find it a balmy one. With the Diaby one, I think Diaby would be perfect as Salah's replacement. But Salah would have to leave if we go.
Do you know the other thing though? Diaby is like a Dembele. End product ain't there. He's just really quick. And
you know what? Just keep that statement because anytime I'm having a debate about Dembele, I need you to come again with that statement because when I say that, oh my days, G, Dembele. What? The guy got no like. Forget that. Like them, I won't even sign him anyway. I don't want Dembele.
I'd say this year Dembele has done a lot better in terms of his outputs. But in general, bro, he's just he's just rapid. But the end product ain't there.
Yeah, man, 100%. I agree.
Don't watch YouTube videos, guys. Just actually go and watch the game.
Go and watch exactly.
Yeah, because everyone has
no way.
YouTube video.
There's no way people will watch this Murdoch, whatever his name is. There's
no way.
I don't
YouTube videos.
I'm not having it from anybody they've watched him. I'm not ever because I've never fucking heard. I know a lot of people had never heard of him. A lot of Arsenal fans had never heard of him, and then just started like, "Oh, we want him desperately. He's got to be everything. He's got to take us to the next level." It's like, you ever heard of him? Also, Arsenal fans, you got to be stopped. I want you to win the league, because I don't want to win City win the league. But stop this. Stop the madness. Okay?
Is that what they're doing?
Stop the They got their own MSN. That's stop.
Shit! Yeah. Forgot. Yeah.
Stop the madness. You're a great side. You're doing well. And
Listen.
I want you to win the league because. If Liverpool can't win the league, I don't want City to keep winning title after title after title. So I want Arsenal to win the league. But fucking hell, stop.
I'd rather City, to be fair.
We'll say
that's 14.
Some man that's 14 in the game. Hey, listen. Yeah, man, trust. We watch more than just the Premier League, man. There's plenty of other leagues you need to go and watch.
No, but this is it, is that because there's so many other leagues, that's why I'm always like, obviously, I've not watched the Ukrainian league, so let me cross that off the list. But in terms of just players in general, that's why sometimes when I see certain clubs go in for certain players, I'm always like, all right, he's a good. Like, I can see why they actually went in for this guy, but then I can see on the other hand, if you haven't seen him enough, you'll be looking at that price tag and thinking, like, like, let's put it this way: as much as we might not have seen Madrid that much, Arsenal and Chelsea were dying to get this guy. So even if you haven't seen him, like even in your mind, you'd at least have some indication to think he must be of some level at the bare minimum to get.
It's just fans that pretend they've seen players.
You know
what I mean? It does my head in. I remember Savage and me talking about it
on certain players.
Me and Savage always talking about that last season about like everyone sees a player for one or two games like, oh my god, it's amazing, and then the 30 games you don't see them, they could be doing stinkers. Do you know what I mean? It's just like whoever scouted them, big up to them, by the way, because Ukraine have had the war all last year for most of the year. Plus, we had 2 years of COVID when football stopped. So I don't know when they scouted the guy because he's only 22. So I don't know when they scouted the guy, but they've done a good job. The only thing I know of it that people will say is extremely quick.
Yeah,
apparently. That's the only thing
let's just say you would have probably have signed him based off of this season anyway. It's just a price tag that's kind of crazy. If you had never seen him and you saw him this season, I would be like, yeah, I'd sign him straight away. Like if I was just basing it off this season alone, I'd say, yeah, I've seen enough of him this season.
They accelerate the deal a lot better when obviously he played in the Champions League this year, but a lot of clubs have been looking at him. When you get the sponsorship of like Football Manager, that's if you don't want to go and watch every other league, just go and play that game, and you'll see.
That's what a lot of people do, ain't it? They go on Football Manager because the thing with that game now, because I used to play it all the time, but I ain't got time now. You know, because once you play that game, you're there, your day's gone.
Yeah, university. There was no university. 3 years I spent playing Football Manager every single year. No, there was no learning.
The thing is, Football Manager. The thing with Football Manager, if you want to go in depth for Football Manager and do it properly, you can be doing something in the game. It takes you 3 hours before you even play the game.
Yep.
You know, like before you
And I'm
even
that guy.
a match, because you're doing all these, and it's so in depth. And now, because they have so much detail about all the players around Europe, you can really study them.
Whoever scouts these men are one of the best in the world because
Yeah.
No, but remember, they use Football Manager thing anyway for like, real life.
a lot of coaches uses it. I'm like, when I heard that, I was like, nah.
That's like the guy from Fabinho said the same thing about. He was like, I was like, right, okay.
Because apparently the stuff on Football Manager is that one sec. The guy, the thing on Football Manager is that they use Opta-stats and everything, don't they? Yeah. And they go in depth and all that. And they use their own scouting to scout players to actually get the reality and put them in the game, right? Mm. So what Liverpool need to do is hire the people that work for Football Manager.
Right? They just need to play it. Just play it. Just have someone in the background who plays it every now and again. Start looking at players during January transfer windows and just have that guy there. You'll find some gems.
Yeah, honestly,
exactly. That's something me and Savage spoke about. So me and Savage were speaking about when we were linked with Darwin Nunes, and everyone was going, "We need to buy him. We need to buy him. We need to buy him." And it's like me and Savage literally said on a show once that we've seen them play 2 times, and that was both against us. And who saw anyone else? I mean, this is the thing.
That's why I never wanted him, because I was like, bro, I've seen this guy twice. Like, I don't. Yeah, but obviously, I'm not the scout.
You might go start watching these leagues, bro.
Let me just read out this super chat. Why aren't we looking at Kudus? He wants to leave Ajax. Knights are struggling this season. They really don't respect their coach. Hello, sweetie. Come here. Say hello to everyone. Go, hello.
Are you right?
Right, now go. Right, guys, we are going to leave it there for the diet because it is. It's gone a couple of hours now, guys. So we're going to leave it there. Great chat as always with everybody. Yeah. I really appreciate everyone coming on. I really do. Thank you to everyone in the live chat. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for hitting the like button. If you've not hit that like button yet, go and hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to these great channels as well. Sentimentality TV. Go and subscribe. Go and subscribe to Baz's channel, LVFC TV and GTV. Make sure you go and subscribe to them, guys. Show them some love and get in their next videos when they're live, guys. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Peace out.